Okay, so you're drywalling. You've probably seen like a zillion things when you're finishing. Miracle tool, it'll help. You can buy this. Look at this person doing like 1,000 feet of drywall in half an hour, taping, mudding with this fancy whatever. All right, since the 11th century, they've been using a tool called a hawk and a trowel. Now, a trowel for drywall is not like a normal trowel. You can't see it here. It is slightly concave. If you put two of them together, they'll have a concavity of about like a 32nd of an inch or so, but it is slightly concave. And this is a hawk. You put the plaster on it. A lot of people think you just put the plaster over this, and no, there's an art to this. And you do it again and again and again, and you do it the exact same way. And you can do plaster, you can do drywall, you can do anything with this, and you can do it fast and you can do it very repeatably. So the first thing we do is we juggle with mud. You can actually just put a sheet down or drop cloth and get some mud and do this and practice with it. Um, so what we want to do is take a 6-inch knife, and you'll notice a lot of people, including me, do this. We'll keep a 6-inch knife right here so we can grab it anytime we need to. It's just there. Right? So we'll take a 6-inch knife, we'll put some in, and then we will sit there. We're going to keep the trowel flat. And what we'll do is we'll take our hawk and we will put this here. And we're going to tilt down past parallel while scooping it off completely till it's on here. There's nothing left to drop. And then we're going to take this and we're gonna go like this and put it all back on. And then do this, do this. And every time I go to the wall and put something on, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to go, and then I'm going to take it off, put it on, and go up. Now, one thing you can get intimidated by, I'm not going to do it because this wall is really messed up. If it's a perfectly straight wall, I can actually stop, go down, ride it up, you can go like that, like probably almost 6 feet. That's not going to happen on this wall because it's screwed up, first of all. Second of all, I don't want to demo this and make people self-conscious. What I'd rather see people do is this. I'm going to load it up. And this is the important part. Many people sit there and go like this and then go like this. That is not correct. What you do is you start, and I'm exaggerating, more perpendicular to the wall. And as you go, you wind more parallel. So as I go on this wall, I start out here floating on the mud, not touching the steel. And then I go more and more and more, push down until there's almost nothing left. And then I pull off. In fact, a mark of I've done it correctly is I can literally let go of the trowel right here and it'll stick for 2 or 3 seconds. Thinner the drywall mud, the less it'll stick. That is how it's done. And when you're doing your first coat, especially if there's a lot of imperfections, you're not looking for smooth. What you're looking for is to really pack it in into the surface, almost burning it in like we're doing mortar on tile, but we're actually scratching it in the surface there. We're not scratching it in the surface here, but we're just really getting it on. And then we come back, we should hear good schlink, and then we sit there and we take it off again, blink again and again and again and again, and we build it up. We build it up everywhere that's hollow, and then we do that for our first coat. Now we come to the tricky part. How do we avoid sanding? It's all about pressure. If I take, and I'm exaggerating, and I push on one side, let's say the good side, I find it like right here, but I push, I can feather this edge out to where there's nothing, and there actually is almost nothing here. I can feather this edge out over here to where there's nothing, and I'll go around the edge, and it will load up the trowel, and then I'll put it back on my hawk, so I can reuse that plaster. Remember, I cleaned really well, and this is the key. Since you're constantly reusing that drywall mud or that plaster, if you didn't clean well, it gets the crumbs in it. And when it gets the crumbs in it, it's worthless. And then your job goes to poop, which is why most drywall jobs go to poop. So, are we clean? Good. We can get away with that. So we will fill in all the gaps. With our second coat, which is where I am now, we're going to sit here and I'm going to fill in. Then now I'm going to be filling in these gaps much more tightly and it should be much better. And with the third coat, I am actually going to be skimming really close, really tight with this, and it'll look really good. So it's a progressive buildup. Don't get in a hurry. Don't get mad that it won't dry. Wait the full 24 hours for it to dry. And the nice thing is, when you do have to sand in the edges, you're going to miss some. But instead of sanding, dry sanding, what we can do is called wet sanding, which is deceptive because it doesn't involve sand at all. It involves a sponge. Take a sponge, wring it out, wring it out, wring it out till it's barely damp. And about 12 hours in for this compound, maybe a little more, when it's mostly white, but it's still just got a bit of moisture in it, very carefully feather, like you're petting a rabbit. Feather this out, feather this out, feather this out, and blend it in. And you can blend it in, blend it in. Don't overwork the center, but definitely work the edges. Bingo. If you do that and you do the three faces and you wet sand it, you can do it without ever sanding a thing. If you do have to sand a little, don't hold it against yourself. I always shoot not to sand a thing at all. So, let's see. Oh, I promised you a cheat code for a level 5 finish. They sell a billion tools for this online. They also sell these skim blades. Pro tip, a skim blade, like a DeWalt or a fin tool skim blade, or what is the other one? Miller skim blade. They're finicky, they're really hard to use, and they'll drive you nuts. If you go to the paint store, they sell this. It's basically a rubber silicone squeegee. It is 1,000 times easier to use, and it's forgiving of small crumbs and dust buildup, and you can wipe it off with a painter's rag after you're done. This is a cheat code to a level 5 finish. It even takes a pole. However, you're not going to be deaf enough to use a pole, so please get on a ladder so you can have fine control. Don't hold it like this. Hold it in three fingers like this. The lightest of pressure. Lightest of pressure. And that's it. If you practice and you're patient and you work drywall and you really get into the hawk, 6-inch blade. This is 20 bucks for stainless steel. Buy a stainless steel one because it doesn't rust. Drywall compound is, I think, either acidic or basic. TLDR, it rusts stuff. Aluminum hawk is 11 bucks. And drywall trowels, these are the Anvil cheapies. Honestly, they're just as good as anything else. I keep a zillion of them around. Bang, that's it. Level 5 finish if you want, or an easy level 3 finish that you can spray with orange peel.